All right, living benefit of life insurance. So there are living benefit. What is the living benefit, and how are they different from company to company or product to product? All right, this is a reality. I guess in a way it tells you, sets a tone of the need for living benefit. Lifetime probability of become disabled, at least two activities of daily living, or being cognitively impaired for those age 65 and older is nearly 70%. That's really, really depressing statistic. So I mean, in our history, people normally just die, but these days they let you live. I don't know whether it is a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, but you're living with the limitation. Your capability isn't really there. And chance of that happening is a 70% in their lifetime. Oh boy, that I don't want that to happen, but I guess we have no control over it most of the time. And also it says an estimated 40.5% both men and women will be diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
So am I in the statistics?
All right, each year about 805,000 people in the United States have a heart attack. Each year. 605,000 will be there first. So it's telling you the life insurance originally cover only when you die. But the reality is that people just don't die anymore. Instead, before they die, they might go into this condition. So what a lot of insurance company has done is that they come up with this rider called living benefit. What is a living benefit? Okay, in terms of the illness, very first thing is a critical illness. Critical illness means some company use specified condition like scholar. Remember scholar? Yeah. Stroke. Scholar spells SCHOLAR, right? S for stroke, C for cancer, H for heart attack, O for organ transplant, L for Lou Gehrig. Was it Lou Gehrig or life support? I think it's a Lou Gehrig. Okay. A for AIDS, R for renal failure, your kidney failure. So these are the common thing that most companies, I mean, there's a little bit of differences here and there, but those are the considered terminal illness. Columbus Life, everywhere else is a scholar, except California. California is a little different. California for Columbus Life is you need to, your medical condition is life-threatening, that without any treatment for 6 months, your likelihood of living in life is very, very low. That's critical illness. If critical illness happens, what some of the insurance companies doing is that the insurance company will allow the consumer, the client, to get a prepayment of death benefit if they choose to. It's not a mandatory thing. It is an option that insurance companies are offering to client. Okay. The next one is a terminal illness. What the heck is a terminal illness? Terminal illness is your life is at the last terminal of your bus station, meaning that your medical professional, your doctor is telling you your your life expectancy is either less than 1 year or less than 2 years. For example, National Life is a less than 2 years. Columbus Life is a less than 1 year. That's the difference, okay? So terminal illness means your condition, there is no cure, okay? But once again, we're all terminal. We have chance of becoming
Oh, yeah.
terminally ill anytime. But we're talking about physical condition.
You die anyway.
Yeah, a car accident can kill you today, tomorrow. So who knows? Okay. Now, chronic illness or long-term care illness is that needs someone else's care. How do you determine long-term care condition or chronic illness condition? Is a 2 out of 6 ADLs. What the heck is an ADLs? ADL stands for activities of daily living. This is common activities that you and I do every single day. What are the 6 activities? Toileting, bathing, dressing, eating, transferring, and continence. I don't know about you, but I try to remember this by taking a mental picture. As soon as I get up in the morning, what I do is I go bathroom, toileting. And then after toileting, what do? I take a shower or bath, right? Bathing. And then you no, don't eat naked, okay? You get dressed. So dressing. And after you get dressed up, you eat, right? And then after you eat, you move about, go to shop, go to work, go to a fitness center, whatever you do, you transfer yourself. And the last 6th one is that time to time you go to the bathroom that you need to use a toilet. Someone is in there. What do? You cross your leg and hold. That capability is called continence. Continence. So those are the 6 activities of daily living. I call it grace of God that we're doing it without really knowing it, right? If you cannot do any of those, at least 2 of those 6 activities of daily living, your condition require someone to take care of you. You need caregiver. Okay. So that condition is called chronic illness or long-term care condition. Okay. Now, for some company, and there's a waiting period, most of insurance company, their waiting period is a 3 month, 90 days. Yeah, Social Security also calls it total disability. You need to be in this condition for 90 days. Some insurance company could put a little more detailed restriction on this, deemed to be permanent. Some insurance companies said this condition is going to last lifetime. One bad thing about Columbus Life, everywhere else, 48 states does not have this requirement, but in California, they need to add this in. Not because they wanted to, but because of the insurance commissioner. So in California, the chronic illness need to be 90 days or longer, and it has to be deemed to be permanent. Permanent. But I don't know how National Life did it. National Life that deemed to be permanent is not there. Yeah, it's nice. Okay. So those are the most common 3 conditions to get a prepayment on your life insurance, not cash value, on death benefit. If your life insurance, if you had a life insurance for a long time, you have built up enough cash value. There is no need for living benefit. You can just take out wash loan from your cash value, 0% interest loan out and use it. So, but the thing is this thing shines, this living benefit shines when you got life insurance and it happened within first 10 years. You didn't have all this cash value accumulated into a big number, but you got hit with this. Here's an option. Okay. So living benefit is a prepayment of death benefit. It is a prepayment. Okay. Not accessing your cash value, even though some of the money will be coming out of a cash value. So if it is a prepayment, there is a time constraint in this. So in the view of life insurance, in the point of view of if you're looking at this in the point of view as a life insurance point of view, then your condition is severe enough that you might die. So many years down the line, you're going to have to pay death benefit. But what you're doing is that you're giving your client an option saying that, hey, instead of pay you death benefit in 5, 10, or 7 years later, if you want, I'll give you money, your death benefit. So that means they're paying death benefit earlier than it should. So if that happened, do you think insurance company will not charge interest and give you money, or insurance company will charge interest? Yeah, insurance company will charge interest because they're not nonprofit organization. They're there for profit. And you want to make sure they have enough profit to meet all their liability. So there's an interest. Now, how this product deals with interest make up different way of payment options. Okay. Okay. Some insurance company uses lien method. Lien method means let's say you have 100,000, you have a $1 million death benefit. The client wants a $200,000 prepayment of death benefit because of the living benefit condition. So he took out $200,000. He says he's sending a request to get a $200,000 from $1 million death benefit. Now, what's going to happen to your death benefit? Now, your death benefit will reduce by that 200,000, okay, because you got prepayment. And what this lien method company will do is they'll pay 200,000 minus first year interest, okay, because they need to charge interest, and give client $200,000 minus interest. Let's say that interest is $10,000. Now client will get $190,000. Now keep that in mind. His death benefit has decreased by 200,000, even though the client got 190,000. Now after 1 year passed and client is still alive, then insurance company will ask for interest for 1 more year. But the thing is, he's in condition, he cannot work. How is he going to pay for the interest? What insurance company will do is that they will deduct the interest from remaining death benefit. So it is 100, what is it? No, 800,000, right? So now from 800,000, they're taking away, for the sake of argument, let's say there's a $10,000 interest. They take out $10,000. Now, if client dies, the death benefit at that point is $790,000. It is a very simple math, but you have to understand they had to do this because it's a prepayment of death benefit. So they do it until the person die, or until there a time the client is with this condition live a long time. So what happened? The remaining death benefit might be depleted completely, right? Then they cannot charge interest anymore. So you got this life policy with zero death benefit. Okay, they're gonna retain that policy because you still retain the tax benefit of life insurance. If you lapse the policy, if they lapse the policy, you lose the tax benefit. So they'll keep the policy. But company like Columbus Life, what they're doing is that they give you a little bit of money. They give you $10,000 if you die, even if there's no death benefit is remaining. But keep that in mind. If that to happen, they need to live a long time to deplete the interest. Okay. Now another method is a discounted death benefit method. Discounted death benefit method is the most popular one. National Life, AIG, and those companies are using discounted death benefit. What they do is that they calculate the interest. How are they going to calculate interest? What they're doing is what we call actuarial underwriting. That's what they're doing. They at the point of that this claim, the underwriter get together and they calculate, hey, with this condition, how many years does he have? They'll come up with some statistic number. And let's say the number is, let's say, 5 years. They take out the 5-year interest first, and that they give you whatever the remaining. So a lot of times, if you take out $200,000, you probably end up with 120,000 sometimes. Sometimes it's 180,000 if the condition is really severe. It could be 110,000. So it all depends on how the actuarial underwriting happens. Come up with a statistic. There are two different type of discounted method too. AIG takes on, they do the actuarial underwriting, full underwriting at the time of a triggering event. Whereas a National Life, they have a predetermined numbers already. That's why if you look at the National Life's illustration before, I don't know if they still have it. They have a category 1, category 2, category 3. Because if it is a medical term, so if the doctor says he's in category 3, he's in very severe condition. So medical doctor already make that decision, then National Life just pay according to their schedule. So it is a lot faster, and you know pretty much what you're getting. Whereas AIG, you're kind of in the dark until that triggering event happens and the underwriter get together. So that's why I like National Life a little more. Okay. And another method is a pay riders. So they, instead of charging interest, they pay rider, they collect rider fees. So your insurance premium will be higher. Okay. Not only the insurance premium will be higher, a lot of time what this company will do is that they'll do two underwriting when they first get the application. The first one is the mortality underwriting, just like a life insurance. They look at the chance of you dying. And they, because of the this paid rider, which is either chronic or long-term care rider, what they do is that they also do morbidity underwriting. Is there any chance of that you might not be mobile? So if you do those, and so you might get some, it all depends on the company. You might get good rating on the mortality, but you might not get a good rating on morbidity, so they might charge more. Or some company just they combine it together and your insurance premium altogether will be higher. Okay, so there is additional underwriting a lot of times. So those are the three methods. Which method you like? I don't know. It all depends. I personally think that lean method is the easiest to explain and understand. But there is a good of discounted method also. Discounted method, since they're already calculating, you can get 100% of your death benefit all at once. Whereas a lean method, because they need to collect interest, they only allow 50% or 40% of death benefit to be collected. Okay.
So there is no feature for repayment of this.
Lean method, I don't think I don't think they send any notice. Okay. Okay.
So just pay the interest.
Just pay the interest. Okay. Now here's some of the illustration or some of the explanation of the discounted. Man, I study engineering, I study statistic, but I long forgotten this formula. So this is a discounted method. If you understand this, you're genius, but I don't understand it. But I mean, this is actually in the policy. Yeah, yeah. So it kind of calculate your mortality from that point on. So that's discounted method for you. I think the message is clear. You know how much money you're going to collect until you get that event. Okay. Whereas a lean method is a little more easier. Okay. The easiest way to explain is that if it is a 40% of death benefit, if it's $1 million, you can get up to $400,000. I mean, easiest pie, right? And you pay interest as you go. That is why I think it is a lot easier. Okay.
More clear.
It's more clear. And here's a lean method samples. Probably, Albert, you can know where it's coming from,
Yeah.
Columbus Life.
Yeah.
So death benefit is $150,000 if he's stricken with a chronic illness. At age 69, he can take as much as $70,000. Remaining death benefit is a $75,000. And if he die right at then, his family will receive $75,000. But if his family, if he lived a little longer, then it'll be reduced by interest, right? Okay. And same with a critical illness. Critical illness at 20th year, you can collect as much as $36,000. And then if you die right away, it's $112,000. There's a little bit of interest if you live a little longer. So it'll be reduced a little bit every single year. Terminal illness, you can take out as much as $93,000. And remaining death benefit being about $50,000. Anybody can read it. The easiest chart. So I think this is the easiest living benefit writer. That's why I loved it. And we have sold so many of them.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I sold it solely on this.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times Alvin, in my career, I think I've been searching for living benefit more than 25 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I started when there was a critical illness. Not that many companies are doing living benefit. I thought this was a feature that eventually people will love it. So if you look at the history of a living benefit, the very first company that actually start living benefit on their life insurance is the Life of Southwest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're the very first one. And then Life of Southwest got purchased by National Life Group. While this is happening, the chief underwriter from Life of Southwest went to the company called UGLA, American General Life and Accident. And they also, that chief underwriter created a living benefit for UGLA too. And UGLA later on got purchased by AIG, which now changes name to Corbridge. That's the history behind it. And many other companies follow their footsteps. Okay. So this is a discounted method. Terminal illness at age 65, $825,000. This is about $1 million death benefit. And chronic illness, monthly benefit decreases because the mortality, right? So as you get older, your mortality will be shorter, so you get more money. Alzheimer, as you get older, as you can see, you get more money. Critical or chronic illness, anywhere between 292,000 to 742,000, depending on the condition. Unlike unlike lean method, you would not know how much you're gonna get until the condition hits.
So the best benefit is 1 mil?
1 mil on this one. The other one is 150,000. Okay. So that's discounted method samples. If you run the illustration, you'll see this kind of things. This is a pay rider. Okay. Initial death benefit is a $400,000. It's a level death benefit. Accelerated benefit is 100% of specified amount. So you can take out as much as a $400,000. But this is on the chronic illness only. So total benefit amount is a 400,000. Maximum monthly benefit amount is lesser of 2%. 2% of 400,000 is what? $8,000. You can collect $8,000 every month if you have the chronic illness condition. Or maximum monthly amount is normally determined by IRS. Okay, IRS saying that, hey, if your long-term care benefit is more than this, you'll be taxed. So what their insurance company is doing is that they'll reduce it. I think right now it's about 9,000 or something. Okay, per diem on the long-term care if you look at the tax reference guide. Okay, so this is a pay rider. It is very simple. I mean, it is a very, very clean. You know exactly what you're getting. The thing that I don't like about pay rider, it is very clean, but it costs extra. The second thing I don't like is it normally asks for more underwriting at the initial time of application. Okay, underwriting is a little bit more strict. And thirdly, the biggest thing that I don't like about this rider is use it or lose it.
Yeah.
What if you died with car accident? What happened to all the money that you have put into this rider? You never got to use it. It just eat up your cash value. So there's a pros and cons. This is from AIGs. AIG also has a free rider, but they also have a pay rider also. Okay. So those are the three things. Before I jump into the next thing to confuse you, there are three methods: lean method, discounted method, and rider with charge fee pay riders. So those are the three methods of living benefit. Okay. Now the next one is how does conditional payment? Conditional payment. When how is the payment gonna be used? The easiest one is an indemnity. Indemnity means that if you're hit with any of those conditions, they'll pay whatever the determined amount is to the client. And client can use that money any which way they want. They can use that money, I've been saying this, they can use this money. Somebody told them that, hey, if you go to the hot spring in Japan with the monkey, your condition will be cured. Then you can use that money to go there. Okay? If somebody has an idea that, hey, if I can go to Tijuana, I don't think it's a good idea anymore, but since all the drug cartels and everything, if you go to Tijuana and get some this experimental medication, then you'll be okay. Then you can use it if you want to. Or if you want to, you can use it. Okay, my life isn't that long anymore. I'm gonna take a lifetime cruise. You can do that. Okay, as old Columbus Life advertisement, one of the lady got hit with this, and when she was hit with this, her husband used this living benefit money to no, it wasn't the lady, it was her husband who got hit with this living benefit condition, and he used that money to make a pool in the backyard. And I would say, pool in the backyard, what does he want with the pools? And the logic behind it is that when he made a pool in the backyard, the grandchildren can come over and play in the pool, and the surviving wife, who is also grandmother of this grandkid, will have time to enjoy with their grandchildren. So it could be as loyal as that, right? So you can use this money any which way you want. That's what we call indemnity, okay? The other way of getting this paid is a reimbursement. You can only use this money to reimburse the cost of the caregivers, whether it's a caregiver family or it is a professional who comes to you or things like that. It can only be used as reimbursement. So it is up to that amount. So if they set up $5,000 benefit amount, if the cost is $3,000, since it is a reimbursement, you can only use $3,000. If cost is a $6,000, because there's maximum cap, you can only use $5,000. You have to pay $1,000 out of your pocket. That's a reimbursement for you. So here's a reimbursement sample. This is the one America. This is one of the best long-term care product that I love. Male, age 70. So he has 125,000 whole life policy. The annual premium is $6,363. And benefit amount, what's the benefit amount? $5,000 monthly. So you get 5,000 a month every month up to 25 months. So until your total death benefit is completely gone. And you can use this only with reimbursement. And I create one additional chart on this one. This is a reimbursement sample also, but I throw in long-term care rider. They call it a continuation benefit rider. So if death benefit is completely depleted, this one pays that same amount until you die. So the premium gets a little higher, 8,600 instead of 6,000 some. But your benefit amount is a 5,000 a month, but duration is lifetime, not 25 months. So this is a reimbursement program. So that's the end of the living benefit rider. This is one of the best riders that I think. I mean, either lean method. So recap on what we just discussed today: lean method, discounted method, pay riders, reimbursement, indemnity. So those are the five terminologies that you have to understand. Once you understand those terminologies, when I send you those long study done by Prudential, it'll make a perfect sense. Okay. Any question? Dana, did it help you to understand about living benefit?
No, I've always wanted to know more about living benefits. So yeah, the more information I have, the better. So
Okay.
thank you.
So I'll send this Prudential's link. So if you get that link, you can study even more. Don't get lost. I think it's way too much information, but
Yeah.
Okay.
all right.
Okay. Great.
Okay,
Thank
so
you. Thank you.
thank you for attending. I don't know what happened to the rest of them, but we're done. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.